This did not go well. Well, part of it went well. Yesterday on the stream, I showed that I was going to be trying to replace this keyboard or install this keyboard in this laptop. So we're going to talk about that, how that went.
DougBot said, I'm working here.
There's a speaker bot. I have my audio confirmation. I don't think you've been hearing any echoing there. And yes, I am 3 minutes late. Surprising me. I saw that somebody asked that in chat. I was saying it's Ken Stout saying it's 2:01 and no Doug. No, it's not. He's wrong again. I still got a few minutes. No, I didn't. I don't know where. I just lost about 4 minutes of my life shortly before showtime that just disappeared. Yeah, that it's the Ken Stout effect. Yeah, that's right. I want to go pretty early, pretty quickly into the keyboard story because I'm going to give some setup so that people who do research on topics can get to work on that. And then, so that's the keyboard issue. Then I've got a topic from Tony Wallow and I've got a topic from Sin Vicious. So those two are going to take priority over new questions in the chat room. I see those jokes. I'm not gonna elaborate on those jokes because I want to get right into this. Otherwise, it's going to get away from me. So the main problem with this keyboard, and the manual did not give me a heads up about this. There was stuff in the manual that I went over with you on Friday that was good and useful and helpful. And then I had to do a little ad-libbing, but there was no clue regarding this problem. You see the holes between the keys at the bottom corners of each of the keys on every row. There's over 100 of those holes, maybe 120, something like that. And that's where the problem is how to fasten that keyboard, because the original in the laptop, those are plastic rivets. So I want to try to give you a quick orientation on what I found about dealing with these, because I did find some ways to deal with them. Let's see, let's make sure this is my notes for this and checking to see what can, yeah, I do need to kind of, oh, maybe I zoom that in, make it full screen. Yeah. Now this doesn't show any client information. So this is one of the pages that I have of some information. This gets to the Dell manuals. This gets to actually ordering the replacements from Microsoft. The problem with that is that they don't have it in stock. There's about 5 variations for this, and what Microsoft does is they sell the entire C panel, all of this, and so that's not available anywhere. Now they do have one of the variations available, but it's metal, it's not this Alcantara, so I will give that to my client as one of the options. But this video right here, did I bring that, do I already have that set up on the screen? No. All right, so let's just click to that. He's gotten a lot of attention on his show for, where did it go? Come on, let me add it. Here we go. He's got a lot of attention on this video, 20,000 views. He made it 2 years ago, and he responds to his comments. I sent a comment to him yesterday, and he's already responded. But what he's doing here is he uses a Dremel tool. He finds all the rivets that he needs to do on this particular laptop he's working with. Mine are all in nice, neat rows and columns, so I don't have to do this circling. Of course, he's circling on the screen right now, but he actually circles them with a with a magic marker on the actual surface. Then he takes a Dremel tool to, let's see, here he's showing how these are structured, where he grinds off the top. That leaves this stud. And if you just break it off, it'll break down lower. So you have less of the stud available in order to reuse. So I'm trying to get up here to show his work with the Dremel tool. Oh, here's where he's soldering it on. So what he takes is a zip tie. This is a black zip tie and a soldering iron, and he's soldering a new black cap or top on those. This is a no-go for me. It's above my risk tolerance to grind off. Once I start grinding off the heads of those plastic rivets, there's no turning back. There's no aborting. You have to continue and go all the way through. Some other people have tried, and he tells about this, other people have tried like JB Weld and other things. The problem is you're using some other material to fasten onto them, and they wind up breaking because that keyboard's got to withstand, those rivets have to withstand the constant typing action. But he's found with using a soldering gun and the zip ties to use as material that appears to be very stable and gives them a long-term service life. Takes a long time to do. Ouch. But it's above my risk tolerance because there's no turning back. Right now, this computer is functional. It works. It's just that a few of the keys, particularly X and the number 1 in caps lock, sometimes don't work. So my client has to, she's just getting tired of having to constantly proofread. Going to this level and then possibly damaging the computer is just not acceptable to me. And then doing that soldering iron stuff while on this, let's see, yeah, on this surface, there's all of those electrical pathways and whatever material those printed circuits are on. No, and I'm not okay with that. Yes, they could use an external keyboard, John Williams, but they don't want to. The workspace where she mostly uses this computer is in her kitchen. She's got a small table on the side. There just isn't room there to have a second keyboard. She'd have to totally redo how she does that in her kitchen, which might be what she winds up doing. They asked me, can we replace the keyboard? I did some initial research and it looked pretty easy. And it is pretty easy if you can get the entire C panel. It's a 1 hour job. Bada boom, bada bing. No big deal. But the C panel is not available anywhere. I did find one on eBay, but it's pretty rough looking. It's got probably a dozen keys that are all kind of faded out and ugly looking. And this Alcantara surface that they call it, it's a fabric surface. This is in pristine condition. It's like perfect. Maybe another one will come up on eBay. Maybe Dell will come in stock on these again, but I don't think so. I tried their chat bot on the Dell website and it said, I don't know if these will ever come back in stock. I don't have access to that information. I just work here. They don't tell me nothing. I get no respect. It really seemed a little bitter to me. Just kidding. I'm sorry I said Dell. Chris Garrett is saying, who makes Surface? You said Dell. I did not. I had said Dell. I meant to say Dell. That was a mistake. It's Microsoft. Microsoft's website is where the C panel is listed for sale, but they're all out of stock except for the one variation, which is the metal variation. And I have not researched that far enough to see if it would work, but that just doesn't look nearly as nice. So that can be an alternative that I will present to her. Now, the thing is with these, there are a lot of this style keyboard for laptop computers available on Amazon. All of the listings that I found that were remotely close to this had 0 comments. Nobody talking about whether they were successful replacing these or not. I have 4 videos here that are unlisted on my channel. This one's video 1, this one's video 2, this one's video 3, and video 4. They all show more detail, closer up videos of the situation. And so I've got it in mind to give you these so that anybody who wants to poke around through those, trying to glean more useful information, I'm thinking there's got to be some way to do this. And if not, I'm just going to report back to my client. We did not find a way to do this. Now, yesterday I told you that I needed to return this computer to my client yesterday. Well, I talked to her yesterday about the status and told her that I have one last remaining thing, is to talk with a bunch of technicians who gathered together on Saturday to discuss things. And we try to help each other with difficult topics. Maybe we'll come up with a solution there. So here I'm putting these unlisted video links into the description of today's video. If there's any of you that want to go open up another tab and mute the audio on those so you can keep up with the audio while I'm talking, have at it. Or if you want to pursue that after the show is over, have at it. What other links should I give you? Let's see. I'll give you the service guide, copy that link, the replacement keyboards on Microsoft's website. Thank you, Chris. I just happened to catch that outside of my eye. I'll give you this guy's video. I don't know what you want to look at. Oh, what I have here, this was I think this might have been eBay. I'm not sure what that was. Copy that link. Let's go see what that was. No, that's Amazon. Oh, this was, yeah, see, this is the wrong series. I need 1867. I don't know why I thought that was worth hanging on to. That is black. The color on this, the official color, is platinum. Yeah, I don't remember why I was thinking that would be useful. So let's give you some more links. Those are the videos. Then I'll leave a blank line. Here's the first one. It was a Microsoft link. See, that one was tech spec. That one. So then this one and that one. All right. Oh, and I did find my suction thing. It was in a box right here behind me on the bottom shelf. Did not work, as I speculated. And those videos I demonstrated or tried to make it work. Does not work. So you'll see the
read chat, please.
The workaround technique that I use for that if you go watch those videos. There's not much talking in those videos, but some, and when I did speak as though I might wind up publishing it. So if you're interested in finding the parts where I speak, I'll get to that read chat in a moment. It's a 13.5 inch William Lynn. That's what that read chat message was. Let me show you how to find the parts where I speak. So here's video 3. If you click on more, scroll down, you find transcript. Click on the transcript. This is going to be all the places that I speak and what I said at that point. So if you're watching along and I stopped speaking, it might be a while. You can just come over here and see where's the next time increment where I speak. Click on that. It will take you right to that point in the video where, okay, so this is the keyboard area. Let's see if that's true. So this is the keyboard area here. Yeah. I know that's kind of quiet. I have to take the touchpad off. Let's see if the manual talks about touchpad. Okay. So that's how you can do that. And then also just by scanning through here what I was saying, that might guide you to the parts of the video that you're most interested in. The first one, this one, video 1, this shows the entire disassembly and the challenges that were met in that. And the video is 52 minutes long. I did pause it, I think, when I walked away for a while, but let's see, what did I get there? It's going back. That one actually did disassemble it. Okay. What was that last speaker bought? It's the 13.5 inch. Wasn't there another one? Thought I just heard another one in my ear. Yeah, it's not an inexpensive laptop. Yes, you do know if something got spilled on it because, and I pointed that out yesterday when we were going through the manual, there is in the audio jack, there's a liquid damage indicator. Now, I guess that doesn't prove, yeah, I guess something could have been spilled into the keyboard area and done something, and it might not affect that liquid damage indicator on the audio jack. So yeah, I guess that's still right. And then also, well, actually, even with this laptop, I think you could tell, because I don't think this fabric would survive a coffee spill without showing some kind of discoloration. There's no discoloration on this. And I think even I've got a little bit of a shadow. As I move it back and forth, you can see the shadows moving. So through my camera, you're not seeing a real good representation of how pristine that fabric cover is. Fabric surface, I should say. Okay, now I think I want to get moved along to the next topic, which I think, well, let's take a look here. John Williams, I'm pretty well today. A little bit of threatening headache, but Stormy relocated. I don't think I got around to working with Stormy. Let it live. Doug, you found a problem with replacement parts for laptops. They do not always fit, all of them for said model. It's not a problem with not fitting. It's a problem with how to mount it. Ken Stout, hello. Should call out some names. Sin Vicious. I have something from Sin Vicious, a question that came in. John Williams, Rick Lakes, Ran Israel, William Dawson, Alice, Steve Dodd. I have something from Steve Dodd too. Charlie Purdy, hello. I'm kind of not catching everything that I usually do. John Williams. Okay, John Williams. I sent Doug a curveball. Stormy is a problem child. No, I think that's the earlier chat comment he's referring to. Charlie Purdy, member for 3 months. Thank you. Is this? No, today's not an anniversary for when I turned it on. Entered power saving mode. Maybe because of my late start. Can snip off the tops of existing ones, use an old soldering iron tip to remelt plastic standoffs. That's above my risk tolerance. If that doesn't go well, and that video where that guy demonstrated the technique, I read through a lot of the comments. He's got a massive amount of comments, and a lot of people said they were successful with it. I didn't see anybody say they weren't successful with it. If you're dealing with a keyboard that's not working at all, then it makes sense. And during that video, at one point he says, well, your keyboard's not working, so you have nothing to lose. Well, that's not true in my case, because the keyboard is working mostly. So yeah, and he argues against snipping off the tops because you're going to snip off deeper into it. Now, one of the commenters said they use those zero angle side clippers. I'm not using the right word for it, but he said he was pretty successful with that. Now, I think on this laptop, I think the studs are much shorter than what he had in his video. I think he had longer studs. I don't think these have as much length to them. Squeeze some alcohol into the area of the keys, the membrane pieces. I'm not comfortable with that because that's likely going to damage this fabric. I don't think alcohol on here is a good choice. Wouldn't have any negative effects. I disagree. Start looking for a replacement. Really? Have you been listening? I've looked. Let's see. eBay, Amazon, Microsoft, Google
Read chat,
search,
please.
Copilot. See, I'm going to take a copy of that and go look at this read chat. Oh, Carrie's in the room. Get a donor laptop. Yeah, you know what? I think I spent a little bit of time back, like a couple months ago when they first started the conversation with me. And I did not know, at that time, I did not know what I was going to run into. So that, I think probably I should go back and take another run at that. Now, the problem there, well, with the donor laptop, no, the donor laptop, I can take out the entire C panel. That's pretty quick and easy. So the keyboard, the touchpad might be flaky on the donor laptop, might have some wear on it. Of course, we got to buy the laptop. The assumption is that the laptop doesn't work, but the keyboard is probably fine. So that has not been on my radar. So I like that. Add that into my list. Stick to your strengths. Okay, so this client, I might not put so much effort into it, except for that it's this client. This is the wife, and the husband has a business that has been a client of mine for like 20 years or more. I've made a lot of money providing service for him. He's one of my higher tier clients, and he's not going to, highly unlikely to balk. He never has balked at what I charge him. And I charge him with very little exception. I charge him the time I actually spend. Now I won't on this one because I just felt personally interested and intrigued with it. But it will be more than what the job would have cost if I already knew how to do it, because that is a key understanding that I have with my clients. That, I just told you yesterday that I told them there are places that you can take this to that do this kind of thing more regularly than I do. Probably be better at it. It's probably going to cost me more for me to do it. And their attitude consistently is, no, we trust you, we want you to do it, and that it can be quick in and out. Or if you take it somewhere, it's probably going to sit on a stack somewhere for a couple weeks before they get around to it. Flush cutters. Yeah, that's probably the name. Did I skip anything? Yeah, I did, because I went down to see somebody's comment. So let's go. Oops, it wasn't that one. It's Windows key V. It was this one. No, it wasn't that one. Windows key V. It was before that. This is where I was at. I'm scanning a little bit to catch up. Sticking a little bit with this to see your comments about this, then I'll move on to the other two questions from the community. Buy a new one. Time for a new computer. No, this is Windows 11 capable. It is not time for a new computer at all. And yesterday I told you wrong. I told you that it already has Windows 11. It does not, but it passed the health check and it will upgrade to Windows 11 just fine. You have to snip off the heads, use small screws into the shaft of the standoffs when you replace the keyboard. Dell does the same. That's interesting. Screws into the shaft, so you probably have to drill a hole into that while that is still all mounted into the C panel. Yeah. I don't see myself doing that. AliExpress has anything. It's the 13.5 inch. Model number is 1867. The difference between the 1867 and 1868 is that the 67 is the Alcantara fabric and the 1868 is the metal. And I don't know if they are interchangeable. They could be. So we could put the metal surface. This keyboard that they ordered did come from China.
Already chat, please. Read chat, please.
Okay, copying that. Carrie's link, Carrie's link. eBay. Surface laptop, donor laptop.
Read chat, please.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. .7% positive. I might order that during the show today on my account, not even bother with them ordering it. Most of my clients, I'm either placing the order using their credit cards or having them order. I'm just tired of dealing with paying sales, doing all the bookwork for sales tax. 1 day, 1 hour for parts or not working. So yeah, all right. No further testing, sold as is, sold for parts, no power cord. There's no guarantee that the keyboard is fully functional, but highly likely, because if this laptop found its way to eBay because of a keyboard problem, that kind of seems unlikely. Seems like there's probably some other problem with it. For parts or not working. I was looking for, this is probably a single item, right? And that's why I'm inclined to just go ahead and buy it now. I'm going to get a few more of your read chats. Wasn't there another one? Japanese version. Oh, that's Greg's messages that he retracted was a Japanese version. I looked at the keys here. They all look like what I expect. The keys that were different between their replacement keyboard
Read
was
chat, please.
the function key. I'm looking at these. I'll get to that read chat in just a moment. Yeah, the speaker is right. Then it was the F7. Yeah, that's showing correct. Yeah, so that keyboard identically matches even this key. All right, good. Can you ask the seller what is wrong with it? Typically not. I wouldn't expect that. They've already said that it's not working. Selling for parts, sold as is, no power cord. The people that are in this business, typically, to my awareness, they don't try to do anything with it. It gets
Read
into
chat,
their
please.
inventory somehow, and they just want, with very little interaction, to sell it off. Oh, power's on but doesn't boot. Oh man, really? Wow, I could wind up with a fully useful computer. So that is in there. Oh man. If I miss this just because of waiting for other comments from you, I'm going to kick myself, aren't I? Give me an exclamation Y if you think I should just order it right now. Give me an exclamation N if you think I should wait a little bit. No, I don't want to bid. If I bid $55 and then I got to wait it out, what am I going to do then? No, this client is going to
Why,
have,
certainly.
they're not even going to blink.
Yes, affirmative.
They're not even going to blink at this $102. And then we can move on to other topics.
Yes, sir. Eat Bob.
That's 3 against 0 saying yes.
Yes, sir. Eat Bob.
That's 4. Okay, I'm going to take this off screen. I'm going to click buy it now. I'll come back on screen
Yes, sir. Oh, Bob.
when I verify that each screen is okay to do. 3713. It's offering me a credit card of 3713. Now, if that's a privacy card that I already have set up for eBay, then I'll do that. But I don't recognize that number. No, it's not one of my privacy cards. So if I do PayPal, they have an extra charge on it, I think. Google Pay, shipping, $17 shipping, tax. Oh, yeah, this part. Oh, this shows an obsolete shipping address, a private shipping service that I use that has gone out of business, so I can't send it there. So I'm looking for alternatives, and a couple alternative addresses there are client addresses. Oh my goodness. Oh, I even have my former address from 15 years ago. I don't have my current address on here at all, so I'm going to add a new address and use RoboForm to fill in my home address. Well, come on, fill it in. I'm selecting it. Oh, there it goes. That's all correct. Includes my cell phone number. Totals $127.43 with tax and shipping. Save as primary address. Yes, I'll do that. I'd really like to have, I'm going to do a privacy, I'm going to create a privacy card right now. So I click on my privacy icon. Oh, there is an eBay. 3713 is my eBay card. Oh, 3713. Yeah, okay, that 3713 number is my eBay card. I don't know why it didn't come up when I searched for it in privacy.com. Now, when I chose that, it changed the shipping address. And my new default address was lost. And I'm going to have to go add it again. That's all right. It's not hard to do with RoboForm. Save as primary address, add. And they recommend a slight change to the shipping address that includes the 4-digit extension on the zip code. And I'm clicking to allow that. Now, delivery, April 16th to 21st. Oh, and that title for that on eBay actually said 1867. So that's comforting to have the exact model number. There's the shipping address right. I'm being careful to make sure I got everything set right here, because when I'm doing a live stream while transacting something, it's just too easy to make a mistake. Okay, confirm and pay. Pull the trigger. Your payment didn't go through. Please check payment you entered or select a different payment method. Oh, I got to check to see if I have a limit on that card. Merchant lot. Yeah, monthly spend limit $50. So I'm changing that to $200 monthly. Done. Spend limit updated, privacy tells me. Close that window. Now I'm still on the checkout screen, and it deleted my card. It deleted my privacy card. Doesn't let me try it again. Oh, you silly goose. Okay, so then when I click on the new card number, I've got an icon, the letter P icon, and I click on that, and then privacy offers me that same card, and I autofill card. That fills in all the details. By the way, with the privacy card, I could put in a false name. I could put in a false billing address, and it still works. So that is giving my billing address, honestly, is the correct address. All of that looks right. So it shows that same number, but now the limit is increased. Now, privacy card automatically deducts from my checking account. You can also go to your credit. Most credit cards these days, you can create one-time use credit cards and with a variety of different modalities that they do that, so that whoever you're giving your credit card numbers to, they can't reuse them. They can be locked to the vendor. They can be a one-time purchase. They can have a limited spend limit depending upon what your credit card company offers. So order total $127.43. Order confirmed. Order was placed. It shows the shipping address here, so I'm not going to bring that up on screen. I could blur it, but I don't think you need to see it. Okay, bada boom, bada bing. Carrie Holzman. Carrie Holzman came through with it. Therefore, Carrie gets points. I don't know if Carrie even knows about how I'm doing points. I know he's not going to be a fan of it. I think he's not going to be a fan of points because he likes doing things simple. I have my reasons. Get over it. Not directly to you, Carrie, just for the people who are making fun of me about setting up a point system. Okay, let's see. This was, I did create, you know what? I got to start doing this. I actually created myself a points structure, and one of the items is, let's see, where is the one that I'm thinking of? Oh yeah, here it is. The trigger for this, oh, I can show you this. Copilot helped me design this system. Trigger, solving an issue brought by Carrie Holzman or another IT pro, YouTube content creator, when the person bringing the problem is stumped and does not know the solution. Now this one up here is solving an issue presented by Doug when Doug himself is stumped and does not know the solution. So that's the one. That's the one here. 25,000 points. But if it's brought by Carrie, it's much higher. So maybe that'll motivate Carrie to play with that a little bit and bring us a issue once in a while that he's stumped on, so that people can gain some major points. Jason Mirabelli, just saw the heading of shows today. My wife had this issue, and believe it or not, it came back with a Windows update. What? The heading of my show? Windows update? How does ideas needed for failed Microsoft Surface Laptop 3 keyboard replacement? How does that get solved by a Windows update? I think you must have misunderstood something. All right. Very good. All right, let's move on to topic from Tony Wallow. Came in as a text message this morning. I had 2 questions from the community come in this morning. Great. I love it. Thank you. This came in by text. Now I have the setup capability to display my phone, but I'm not going to do that here because it's just pointless. He says, "Hi, Doug. I keep getting this message. Fast track final reminder." Some of you recognize this. He knows this is a scam. You have unpaid toll. Failure to submit payment by April 15th, 2025 will result in additional penalties or legal action. Pay now. And it has a link. Reply yes. And you know, it's a scam. And what he says is, I've tried blocking it, reporting it as spam. I'm at a wit's end. He's basically saying that it keeps coming back. Okay, well, it keeps coming back because you're on a list somewhere where there is an audience seeing that list, that this is their gig. This is what they're doing. The link that is shown here, it's https bayareafasttrack.org, intended to make it sound legit, right? However, after org, there's a hyphen, then a line wrap conveniently placed, etcju.win/US. The part to the left of that / is the top level domain name .win. So instead of .com, it's .win. So it's not a .org address. It's a .win address. The domain name from the previous period, the domain name is org-etcju. Now we could do a domain search to see who owns that, what country it's coming from, if we care about. But really the question here, what he's asking is how to stop being bugged with these. When he's flagging this as junk or spam, whatever, it only blocks that phone number that it's coming from. Doesn't block that domain name. Yeah, so here's what you could do, Tony, and we might get a chance to demonstrate. I could demonstrate this with my phone. I don't know if Tony's on an iPhone or an Android. But here, I asked Copilot, the way to block text messages that have certain phrases. Yes, there are apps to do that on Android devices. Some third-party apps like Pulse, SMS, allow you to add phrases to a block list. Alternatively, Google Messages has a robust spam detection, though it doesn't let you block specific phrases. And that's not going to help you with text messages that I can see. Although, well, no, maybe Android. Maybe, oh, Google Messages. That is the Android text messaging. Okay. Apple doesn't have a built-in feature He's got an iPhone. Apple doesn't have a built-in feature for blocking messages by keywords, but apps like Vero SMS can help. This app lets you blacklist or whitelist keywords to filter the messages. Third-party apps, many apps across platforms offer keyword-based filtering. You might need to explore options that suit your needs. So what I'm figuring is that if you use an app to block things such as Fast Track Final, that would be enough. Now, I don't know if Tony does actually use Fast Track, if he does actually drive on toll roads where you could get messages like this. But I don't know if Fast Track sends messages by text. They could, because if you're registered with Fast Track, that's how they would have your phone number. So I don't know if those messages are ever valid. They could be, as far as I know. You could use the phrase, you have an unpaid toll, and you could be instructing it to block any messages that have that. So if we have time today, and if Tony requests it, I'll demonstrate it. He says he's on an iPhone. I'm on an iPhone. If you'd like me to demonstrate it, then let me know in chat or by text message. And if we have time, we'll do that. William Lynn says Fast Track does not send any text messages with a website link by text. Yeah, of course, the scammers are banking on a lot of people out there aren't going to know that. And obviously, there are a lot of people that don't know that and are falling for the scam. Otherwise, this scam wouldn't keep coming. Supply and demand. If there are people buying this scam, then the sellers are going to continue selling it. And William Lynn also says, see this fraud alert. Fast Track does not request payment by text with a link to a website. Yeah, that makes total sense. Okay, now let me get on to another. I'm not sure if it's just one more or two more. I've got some video comments, but one in particular that I'd like to respond to. Do a little more arrangement here. Get down to my emails that are flagged for today's show. Oh yeah, to Steve Dodd and Sin Vicious. I'll tell you what, Steve Dodd is not actually a question, so I'm going to go with Sin's first. I want to come back to Steve's, but I'll get Sin's first so that people in the chat room can respond. Yeah, checking this to see if I can display all of this. Yes, does not reveal his email address. Not even when I float my mouse over that area. Zooming in a bit. Sometimes when I zoom in, it changes the layout. Okay, let's go with this. The subject line, concerning a Gigabyte attempt to bug me. So is that trying to put a bug into your computer or just annoy you? I think what it is annoy him. I keep getting this notice in notifications. So down in the bottom right corner of the screen, it's notifications. I click where it tells me to, but nothing ever happens. It just returns in a week or so. So whatever that notification is telling him to do, he clicks on it. Now, I don't know what the notification says. Nothing ever happens. Now, I'm suspecting that some people who have Gigabyte may know the answer to this in chat. So I looked for a reason, and all I saw was a appcentral.exe file. Never saw it do anything, so I searched my computer and found it. As far as I can say, App Central doesn't do anything, except with settings I can somehow change skin color. I do not know why. Except with settings, I can somehow change skin color. I do not know why. So let's start with seeing if anybody in chat has an answer to this. Now, as far as the notifications, if you come down to your notifications bell icon in the bottom right corner down here, I'll give you a little down. My mouse is down here in the bottom right. Click on that, and then go to notification settings. Now, this panel here looks a little different on Windows 10 versus Windows 11, but the same functionality is there. And you can get in right here for notifications. If I click this drop down, we got these check marks we can deal with, but more significantly, if you come down here and find Gigabyte in here, you could turn notifications off for Gigabyte if you just don't want to see them anymore. If you're getting notifications that aren't from any of these apps in here, then it's probably coming from notifications through your browser settings, where you go into the website security settings in your browser and look for the settings for particular websites, and you can disable notifications for that particular website. And I have demonstrated that before. I can demonstrate again if needed. Is there anything in chat on that subject? Maybe from a setting in BIOS. Oh, interesting. Setting from in BIOS, making issuing a Windows notification. That's interesting. Let's see, did I have, this sounds like a music only video. What is he doing here? All right, so here gets into settings, save configuration and data. So he's already made this change. So let's come back here a little bit to when he goes into settings, see what we get. Oh, no, he hasn't changed it yet. Just that screen came up when he first went in. Where is he going to? I'm going to speed up the video playback. I/O ports. Should go do the ask. Oh, there it is. App Center download and install configuration. App Center download. So that's going to download and install it. So it's installed through BIOS. Now, just to demonstrate this piece, down here on the Ask button underneath, you can ask a question over here. Well, there's actually, this might not work because there's no spoken audio. Let's just click on summarize the video, see what it comes up with. I don't know if this ask button works when there's no spoken. Oh yeah. Fortunately, it does not do any English dialogue. I can provide you with some common solutions. Gigabyte App Center, gear icon in the top right corner. Uncheck the option to always run on next boot, disabling BIOS download notification. That kind of sounds on point. Restart your computer, press delete key or the BIOS boot key, which may vary depending upon your motherboard. Enter BIOS settings, look for setting related to App Center download or similar name, often found under I/O ports. Disable the setting. Deleting registry entries. Disable the setting called deleting registry entries. So you're going to delete that setting so that it doesn't delete registry entries, I think. Oh, so this is going into registry, and then navigate to here. So you could actually just highlight this, Control C, and then go into the regedit and Control V paste that line to get straight to that location in the registry. Look for any entries. Let's see. Yeah, you all have access to the link to this video. And then you can click on that Ask button and then summarize to get this text-oriented instruction. Look for any entries related to App Center, Gigabyte, delete them. Be cautious when deleting registry entries as incorrect modifications, yada, yada. Run a full system scan with the antivirus software, yada, yada. Now, all of this in here is not from the video. This was the AI that YouTube uses that is providing information, apparently just based on the title, possibly based on what's in the description, but there's nothing in here. Yeah, there's a couple other pieces of wording here. So that sounds good. Let's go see any comments specifically on that. Sin Vicious, photos attached. I don't think I did. In fact, I recall having it in mind that I wanted to ask you for photos. Oh yeah, they are. They are. You know what? I looked at this first on my cell phone and I didn't see that there's attachments. All right. Yeah, here we go. We're coming up with the photos. All right. Here's the, actually, let me hammer through them. And yeah, okay. Here we go. Gigabyte updates, app center. So this is just, he just did a screen, rectangle snip of the actual notification. It shows app sent, Gigabyte updates. Updates are ready for your computer. Click here to install these updates. So he's saying he did click here and it did not seem to install updates, and this message keeps coming back. So then if you, I think you'd want to do the updates. So go into whatever software that Gigabyte has on your computer to install updates. Maybe you haven't installed that software on your computer, which I'm going to let people in the chat room provide some guidance on how to do that, because I don't know that off the top of my head. Now the next picture, Gigabyte App Center. Okay, Gigabyte App Center gives these items. So I kind of skipped down to the bottom, looking for, where would updates be? Devices and printers, power options, third-party software, Windows settings. Oh, you got to click on this tab, I think, don't you? It looks to me like you're clicked on the Windows settings. You're getting all Windows settings here. How about click on Gigabyte apps to see what's available there? Is that what's on the next picture? Yes, it is. All right. There's preferences, always run on next reboot. Okay, so you could turn that check mark off if you just don't want to see those messages, I'm suspecting. At BIOS, I'd be thinking click on that to get to the BIOS updates or Gigabyte updates. Easy tune. All of the update could be for any of these, right? Updates are ready for your computer. App Center. Couldn't that imply that updates are there for any of those? Now, how about going into, there's the settings gear. I'm suspecting that this is what you get by clicking on that settings gear. So this is the settings panel. Is that all there is? Is this gear icon clickable? Oh, this is where he was saying the only thing he could do is change skin color. Update schedule while Windows boot. Okay, can you change that for the update schedule to be some other time? Looks to me like it's grayed out and not clickable. What are you saying in chat for him? Maybe from a setting in BIOS. Okay, that's what we just looked at. Buffering. I do not have any dropped frames. Tim Cruz just got some fixes done in his neighborhood for his internet service. So he's supposed to have good service now, again. He complained about his internet service again, and they sent out a truck, and then he got notified that there's a substantial area in his neighborhood. They sent out one of those bucket trucks and did some repairs, and they let him know that it's all fixed. Simpler instructions here from punchtechnologies.co.uk. How does this disable? App Center download notification appears. Annoying. Isn't that the exact words that? Oh no. That was Tony's word. Maybe. I don't know. An annoying black box in the middle of your Windows 10 screen. Oh, maybe not in the bottom right corner like I assumed. It's turned off from the BIOS command. Restart your computer, delete key, peripherals, app center, download. Change the setting to disable. Yeah, that's good. No, I do not do Facebook. I am so close to just eliminating Facebook. I find that really, really annoying. The way to contact me is email. That's the best way. My preferred method, even over text, even over video comments, because you can include pictures if I notice them. Such a Doug. Acronym SAD. Muting for a moment. Okay, I'm going to put on camera for a moment. I'll do this again to see if I had anything else lined up as questions from the community. I am so happy that that laptop keyboard issue is solved. Thank you, Carrie. What was this one? Oh, this that video about the guy that was using the soldering iron. He gets a lot of views. He's very large channel, and with his, I think it was like, well, don't I still have that video up? How many? Yeah, here we go. How many comments did he have? It was 2 years ago, 208 comments. You see reply on all of these. These are, you see his face, his little icon there. He replies. You know, I've questioned myself once in a while, am I going to be able to keep replying to all the comments when they get larger volume? Although this is spread out over a couple of years, and it is a green video. It's 15 times his usual volume, his usual views on this video. It just keeps producing. See, that shows the popularity of that video. A lot of people wanting to see that video. Now, one of the reasons why I was interested in doing this, aside from who the client is there's very little out there for Surface laptop replacements. I think I only found the one that's replacing the whole C panel, and it's highly edited. And there are things that they did not include for the, you know, the real experience. Now, what I think I will wind up doing with that is editing it down to maybe 5 to 10 minutes, but include all of the challenge pieces. And maybe do some fast forwarding and stuff. And then maybe give a link to the unedited normal speed video as well for people who want to see that. Because as a person is trying to do something that's been demonstrated, they might come across something that the edited version doesn't cover very well. So giving the opportunity to see the full long version as an unlisted video, which doesn't make me any money, could be a very good service to provide. But anyway, I was trying to get to his, he did reply. And when he replied, I got an email on it. I need to tell you what I said in the first place. Let's see if we can find me in here. Oh, here it is. Not far, not far. I am working on a Microsoft Surface 3 laptop to replace the keyboard and faced with these plastic rivets. I have not yet decided to use the method you demonstrated, as I do not have the equipment on hand and concerned about the risk. Super concerned about the risk. Heavily concerned about the risk, because there's no turning back once you start down that road. I will be showing the project tomorrow, Saturday, during my YouTube live. So that's right. I pointed out in case he's watching. And you know what? If he's watching right now, he's not going to be able to say anything because he's not an approved. I don't think I can make him an approved chatter If you're watching, I'm going to get you approved here momentarily. Let's see. Pap. Let's do it this way. At pap hit ism. Copy that. Then I'll go make you an approved user. I'm going to go back to camera 1. I know I stopped that midstream while I was reading through that. Let's see, then go into community moderation in my settings and then go to approved users. And I'm going to try paste. This thing with manually adding in here is really flaky. It doesn't work very well. Approved users. I can show this.
Read chat, please.
Approved users at Control V doesn't work. See, it says paste channel URL. That's not working. That last read chat, please, was John Williams. He found a Surface laptop for sale, almost flawless, identical to the one on your desk. Well, we just ordered a non-functional one. How much is the one for sale that you found, John? I don't think I want to swap it out because that's actually more work than replacing the C panel. Let's try this way. Try the channel URL. And then back to here. Approved users, Control V. No. I have seen
Read chat,
times
please.
where this just starts working. Oh, maybe that'll do it. There we go. I got to get a blinking cursor. Click at the end of it and then get a blinking cursor. Press enter. It should change. It did not change. Let me change it down to just the @ symbol. Enter. Enter. No. That last read chat, $200. Yeah, not interested. Thank you, but not interested. Where else can I get this? There, that works. See, without the @ symbol, now it shows a list of choices. And I recognize that as his profile and then save. So Nikos, if you're watching, you should be able to chat right now. I get back to finishing reading that. Click the back button to get back to the video. Pause it.
Read chat, please.
Scroll down to mine. Let's see, that was John Downey, did a read chat. What are you wanting me to read? I don't see you saying anything after the C. Oh, there it is. I only use Facebook to check the menu at Hutchins. Okay. Concerned about the risk. I'll be showing the project during my YouTube live stream. Do you know of anyone using this technique on a Surface laptop? My sense, now we've already got this problem solved, right? I want to give him props for how quickly he responded. I gave the message 19 hours ago. His reply down here, 13 hours ago. So like 6 hours. Well done. My sense of it is that the posts are very shallow on this computer, and I'm uncertain of whether this technique will work or whether I may destroy the usefulness of this computer. The keyboard currently works, it's just that sometimes the letter X, number 1, and caps lock fail to respond. So the user has to always carefully proofread and is tired of putting up with that. The troublesome keys will work when retried. So when she sees that she's missed something, she can go back and hit the key again, and it usually just works. So it's not like it's difficult to get the key to work. It's just that she has to watch very closely, and she's just fed up with it. An external keyboard is not a useful alternative for this user for reasons I explained earlier. They would rather put up with the constant proofreading than an external keyboard. His reply. Substantial reply, not just clicking it away. Yeah, I can understand their frustration, and the external keyboard is annoying, especially if you have a Surface. I have not done this with a Surface before, but I have on slim devices. Now, there were a lot of people in his comments who said they did it on this device, that device, and so on. So I was hoping, without having to read through all 200 messages, that he might know that somebody in his comments was successful with a Surface laptop. But I still don't think I would do it. Slim devices, laplets. I don't know what a laplet is. A Dell, if I remember correctly. The posts were a bit thinner and shorter. For that one, I wrapped thick copper wire around the soldering iron tip and shaped the point as the tip of my iron was too thick. Thinner zip ties by cutting down the length of my zip tie. Worked great. Slightly more delicate operation as everything is a bit smaller, so you need to take a bit more time with everything. Now, I also suspect that I thought he saw his name somewhere on his website. I thought that, or I'm suspecting that he's far more experienced with a soldering iron than I am. I'd actually have to buy the soldering iron. I have used soldering irons in the past. I got rid of all the ones I've had in the past because I don't need it. All right. People need to stop installing software they don't need. That applies to Gigabyte crap. ASRock does a similar thing, but it's for drivers and pretty much nothing else. So I assume you would need the drivers. So I think Jim is saying here that just completely disable that Gigabyte stuff. You don't need it. I wonder if I have any shot at getting back to where I guess I got to check first and see if I have completed everything that I had in emails. Got that one. Oh, Steve Dodd. Let's see if Steve is in chat. Yes, he is. Great. This does not expose his email address. Oh, and it's good that Carrie's in the audience because Carrie, you're mentioned in this. Steve Dodd says, Dear Carrie and Doug. Oh, Showcase Create. That is, yeah, that's Carrie's email address. I thought I recognized that. Thank you for your expertise and advice on computers and Windows. I recently bought an Asus VivoBook laptop for my wife, Carla, which met her requirements of 15.6-inch screen, a good backlit keyboard with a numeric keypad. My requirements for the computer that he bought for her, just saying. My requirements was a minimum of 16 gigabytes RAM and 2 terabyte NVMe SSD. No, that's totally valid. She needs that. She should have that. And maybe that's Steve saying he wants that computer to have that. Absolutely. Right on. Asus 2025 VivoBook. Yada, yada. 16 core, Ultra 9. NVIDIA GeForce 3050. Thunderbolt 4. Webcam. Backlit. RJ45. Windows 11 Home. Windows 11 home, SSD, 2 terabyte. My setup procedures. Booted up the laptop, finished setting up Windows 11 Home 24H2 with a local account named user. I had to do function key Shift F10 to go into command prompt and point to OOBE bypass NRO. Now we know the insider's edition for what's probably may become 25H2 or what they're working on eliminates that script. The easy ways to work around it. Nobody needs to get excited about it. Carrie's talked about it recently, and I have on my list to do a video about it, but nothing burger, don't worry about it. And that may not come out in the public edition once it finally gets published. He says, thanks, Carrie and Doug, because he's seen that demonstrated and talked about on both of our channels. After the setup was completed and all Windows updates completed, I did an image backup via Acronis. Thanks, Carrie. And he says that because Carrie likes Acronis. I like Macrium Reflect. Never the twain shall meet. they're fine as backup programs. They all do the same stuff. There are some differences. I then upgraded to Windows 11 Pro 24H2. Thanks, Doug. That means he upgraded from Home to Pro because I have a video about that and a couple other. I want to redo that because it's been a while. Thanks, Doug. I got a Windows 10 Pro key from SCD Key. Thanks, Carrie. It's like a ping pong ball. Boom, bing, bing, bing. Balls in your court. The new key worked flawlessly. I then did an image backup again. This is the, hey, you are a Doug. This a person after my heart. Depending on the circumstances, I don't always do it, but it is not uncommon that I'll do image backups at incremental steps because it takes zero time. I start it and I walk away. I go do something else. I don't care about the time that it takes to do it. I have even done an image backup this way, where I will take a brand new computer out of the box, put my Macrium Reflect thumb drive in it, and I know, particularly on these V-Link computers, how to get straight into the boot options, and I'll boot to that before I even initialize Windows. I'll do an image backup. So I have the actual factory image. Then I have also done, as you know, that I use this technique sometimes, restore the image from my client's current computer. I already have the drivers exported for that model computer because I buy the same model computers. I already have the drivers for it. So I'm restoring their image, boot up that image, and it activates. The license is activated. As long as it was a pro version on the original computer and a pro version for my client's computer that I restored to it, it activates. I have proven that, yes, on these B-Link computers. I don't know if that's going to be consistent across all computers. What that tells me is that the digital activation is indeed stored on the computer in its BIOS even before performing Windows initialization. That works. Installed my programs, including Office 365, another image backup. I know how many times he's done this because I've already read through this. Restored Carla and Steve user settings from the old Asus laptop. Now, if something goes wrong at this point, he can restore from here. And that's the reason why doing these incremental backups is if something goes wrong at this next step, you can revert back to here and you don't have to revert all the way back. So at any one of these steps, when something goes wrong, you can revert back. Once you're completely done with all this and you're happy with the setup, you can go delete those older backups if you choose to. I often don't bother with it because that's extra time to just go back and do that. I'll leave things sit. Restored Carla and Steve users settings from the old Asus laptop via PC backup. This worked great. Initially, they are local accounts until I signed in to each Microsoft account. They are working like they should. Yes, and I always set up local accounts and then attach them to a Microsoft account if I want that computer to be a Microsoft account. Depends upon the user's circumstances and their needs. It's not my decision. It is based upon their needs. And there's a lot of value from a Microsoft account. But if you're not into that, then you're not into it. And I use Fab's Auto Backup for that process, which is, again, fine. They're going to be pretty comparable. I had to set the file sharing to access my shareable drives via Carrie's video. Yeah, so that implies to me that you're doing file sharing without passwords. So you're not setting up the same user accounts and password on your NAS, perhaps, or the file sharing, if you're attaching to each other's computers, you're not signing or authenticating to the other computer with their credentials, or you're not setting up each other's accounts on your computers to provide that. So that would be that allow anonymous, that's not quite right, allow something. I'm not remembering what that setting was in GP Edit, or there's other ways to accomplish it as well. Another image backup. Yes, I am backup crazy. You're a man after my own heart. Love that. A little history. I am a retired system analyst, programmer, coding in COBOL. But did that stick out my tongue? I shouldn't have stuck out my tongue while saluting. I didn't intend to do that. But yeah, salute. COBOL on IBM mainframes and AS400. Mainframe baby brother. I'm familiar with AS400. Not that I've used it, but I've worked in a company where my colleagues were using AS400 with over 50 years experience. That work was prior to becoming my own business, which was in 1992. So I think from like 1989. No, let's see, there was two companies that I was earning money from my computer skills prior to my own business. So the last of those two companies was the one where I had a colleague that was doing AS400 mini computers and SCO Xenix. I greatly appreciate all your insight and the help you provide. Well, thank you for saying that. Link for the laptop. Here's what he bought. What's in the box? VivoBook Pro OLED, 16-core Intel Ultra 9, NVIDIA GeForce 3050, 2 terabyte SSD, Thunderbolt 4, Wi-Fi, webcam, backlit, $1,550. Now, nope, I do have another thing to get to. Oy vey. Get my counter up on screen. Here we go. Let's close that panel. Zoom in a little more. Click a reply, Windows key V, scroll down to my pinned link, left arrow, T equals 5059 seconds from the bottom right corner of my screen, and T cleave. Responding to the Yahoo Mail layout, I've regained my sanity. Thanks so much. You might want to hold on while I speak to the next person, Ellen Robbins, because this is also on the Yahoo issue and Ty, but it looks like he's happy with the solution for him or her. And then Ellen Robbins, I'm going to take that to be female, so I'll use that pronoun. I don't see this option, so I must assume it is gone. Well, let's go look at that. I'm going to go check it out right now, Ellen. And this is my second video regarding the recent Yahoo debacle, where in my last video, I showed that they've totally reversed it and put it back to the way that it was. So now I'm speaking particularly with Ellen and Ty Cleve. Let's go have a look. Here's my Yahoo. I already have it up. When I click on this panel, this brownish color up here tells me this is the classic Yahoo that is still accessible to me. Now, she said the option wasn't available, so I'm going to cycle through the choices. There may be 2 different modes, there may be 3 different modes that this can operate in. So first I'm going to go to try the new Yahoo Mail up in the upper right corner. Click on that, and that should switch me to the new mail, and it kept me on the same tab. So here's the new mail. We don't have that same banner up at the top, the same coloring up here. Now if I come down here on the bottom left to the 3-dot menu and then go to settings, then over here is switch to old Yahoo Mail, and that should get us back to the old classic Yahoo Mail. There is no option now for basic. So what I don't see here is to go back to the basic Yahoo Mail. Some people complain about the ads. So to get away from the ads, you can pay for your Yahoo Mail service, or you could use some third-party mail program such as all I can think of is the word Thunderbird. I'm not getting the word before that because Jim likes hearing me promote Thunderbird. There he says in chat, he says, say it. Mozilla Thunderbird. I was trying to say the whole thing. I got it before Wintermute, before I saw Wintermute coming. I remembered Mozilla. People make fun of me for the things for my poor memory. Mostly it's me making fun of me, to be honest with you. Yeah. So then switch to old Yahoo Mail. That should take us back to the classic. This should be what you're wanting, Ellen. If this is not what you're seeing, Ellen, you can take a screenshot of what you're seeing at those menu choices and send it to me at this email address. You could follow up with another reply to my reply to your comment, and we'll try to help you through this. Also be interested to know what country are you in, because I think Yahoo might function a little differently based upon your country region. Might be what's going on. And also, Ellen, let me know what feature is it that you really want. Maybe the this classic version of Yahoo. I have been told, whoops, this isn't it. I have been told by some people that this isn't quite the same as it was. There is something about it that is still different. I don't remember what they said was different. Phil Stodd points out different web browsers could be displaying the page differently. That's true. And then also somebody recently, and I think I addressed this on one of the live shows, they had an ad blocker and Yahoo was severely objecting to that, to the point that they weren't, like, it looked like they were going to stop letting them use the web browser access to the mail at all. Okay, so I'm gonna put in that same time code for Ellen so that she gets that conversation for both of those people. So thumbs up and heart for both of those. Click on the reply button to complete those replies so that those are done. And I still have those other 2 down here that I'm holding on to. I should take them off of that list. I'm holding on to them because I want to make videos regarding those subjects. Those subjects were Third-party adjustment. What was this for? Oh, this is for, oh, policy editor. Yeah, I have the video. Actually, it's on my channel. I have uploaded it. I just haven't made it public yet, but I have that ready to publish on my method for enabling group policy editor in Windows Home Edition. Look at that, under 4 minutes. I think that was the final version. I need to put the thumbnail on it and do some other configuration for that. Super easy method, super easy to do. To enable group policy editor in Windows Home Editions. That works for Windows 11 and Windows 10. Where is they at? Content. Oh, here, community. So that's why I've been holding on to that. And this one, easier ways to use local accounts. Yeah, this streamlined bypass, although the domain still works, of course. Let's see, Windows Forum. Is this the one that I want to make a video on, or just another variation? Yeah, I think this is the one. Yeah, this is it. Just get to that DOS prompt at the same location. This is better than bypass NRO. For anyone who hasn't seen this, and I came across this based on that article that Carrie was talking about, that was telling about how bypass NRO was being taken out. There was an added comment from them, an update from them, that about a day or two later, that told about this method. So the Shift F10 to get to the DOS prompt, type in this command and press enter, and it takes you right to putting in a local username. No reboot. The bypass NRO, you have to reboot. And actually the other alternative that Carrie recently showed also performs a reboot. This method does not do a reboot. No, 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 no. Shift F10, type this, and boom, straight to the field for local account. And you might have to type exit to get out of the command prompt. I'm not sure about that. No, you know what? No, I think that just goes straight to it. Yeah, Rufus. So Carrie's asking about why not use Rufus. There is a reason to not do that. Why not simply use Rufus to create your own Windows 11 media? In my opinion, that only makes sense for somebody who is going to be doing multiples of them. But if it's once in a blue moon that you need to do it, and that your thumb drive is perhaps out of date by the time you need to do it again, then this method is far simpler than having to reuse Rufus to do another thumb drive. If you're doing it on a regular basis, absolutely, yes. If it's a once in a blue moon thing, which is for me, I rarely install Windows from scratch. No, I'd much rather use this method that I just demonstrated. I don't want to have to go, is my thumb drive up to date? Has there been an update since then? No, I just rather use the native. Although I guess, yeah, if I'm using a thumb drive to install Windows, I do have to update it from Microsoft. But that is a little less work than recreating it through Rufus. So that's why. If you use Rufus once, you wouldn't have to redo it. You would have to redo it once you get the next revision of Windows. I don't know how often Microsoft updates that. It's not a big deal difference. It's not a big reason to not use Rufus. I just, old habits, and I don't do it often enough. And he says, fair enough, but you'd be redoing your install media regardless of 25H2 comes out. Yeah. redoing it straight from Microsoft, straight from their website onto a thumb drive, in my mind, that is less work than using Rufus. Alrighty. If you're prepping a Dell system at a client site, then use F10 process. Never, 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 never. No, not ever. I do not ever, ever, ever prep a Dell computer or any computer at a client's office. No, 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 no. Never. Do it here. During all of its processing times, I got other things I can do. I'm not sitting there waiting for it. Never on site. Even to the point they buy their own computer, I go pick it up, bring it back here and do it here. I'm waiting to see if 25H2 removes just the bypass NR script or the actual registry settings. If they're going to remove the registry setting, then that should be what they've done in the Insiders Edition, and that has not been announced. So there's no hint at all that they're actually going to remove the registry setting. Smart move about not doing it at client's office. Yeah, Carrie's fair enough. Oh, I agree, to each their own. Carrie and I do things differently, and we acknowledge that. We totally respect each other and love each other's work. And don't mind the differences. Line up 12 technicians in a row. Try to find any question. Try to find any question where you can get a consistent answer from each one of them. I'll bet you can't even do that. You know, I've heard it speculated that you can't get them all to answer a question the same way, but try to craft a question. Does the sun rise in the east or the west? I'll bet you lined up 12 technicians together, you're not going to get the same answer. 25,000 points more for Carrie. For what? Oh, Carrie, if you type !points, you'll see how many points you currently have. Yeah, because you get 50 points every minute. If every minute that you're active in chat, if it's been more than 5 minutes since your last chat message, then you're no longer accumulating 50 points per minute. What was the extra 25,000 worth? Challenging me on Rufus? Or was there something else that you actually solved? I don't remember that. Now, eventually I'm working on a leaderboard for points, and I have plans down the road, and it goes beyond whatever interest you guys might have in the point system, if any. Some of you aren't going to be interested in all. Oh, he just felt like saying that. There he goes. All right. I think I've covered everything that I had lined up as potential topics. Then next thing on my radar, if nobody's guiding me to particular comments, if there's any other questions. Hey, look at that. Princess is kind of in the right place and isn't bumping up against anything. I think Stormy and Windy are still standing in front of my face. So trying to search back to where I last was in chat. I think was probably one of these two.
Read chat, please.
Oh, all right. I'll get to that message momentarily. Was it this one? This one would have been higher up. That from Jeff was 1134. I think this is where I was last at. Okay. So I'm going to do a fresh copy of that, and then come down to this last free chat. And Israel, did you notice the new iNet pub folder? No. Where is that at? Is that a folder in Windows? I don't know where that is. If I just paste that statement, what does Copilot say? Microsoft's Internet Information Services web server component. If you recently noticed on your system, could be IIS is installed. Yeah, I'm not using IIS anywhere. After the latest update? Where? Microsoft said not to remove it after I removed it. That sounds familiar. About something, is that just on servers?
Read chat, please.
C:// after latest update. All right, let's go look at that. Is that a system folder? iNet, right? That's what he said, wasn't it? iNet. So let's view, show, hidden items. No iNet. Now I can't get system from here. I think I have to go to the three-dot menu, options,
Read chat,
view,
please.
and then show hidden files, hide protected operating systems. Remove that check mark. Is that where it is? Jim confirms it on his Windows 10.
Read chat, please.
iNet. Not there. Oh, I know why. I paused updates on Big Beast. Did I? Yeah, I did. That's why. All right. So I think I have updates paused on Baby Beast as well. Let's just go ahead and let it do those updates. I didn't already. What is that? Oh. Then here. Okay, bringing Baby Beast up on the screen. And then turn that feature on. Windows key. Updates. Did not respond. There. Resume updates. There was something I was doing with my computers when it was update Tuesday this week that I wanted to not get interrupted with it downloading in the background. I don't remember what that was right now. That was the reason why I paused the updates. No, nothing more than that. We should go show that that folder is not present. I'm going to pop out this preview on OBS so that I can see it full screen. That allows me to look towards the camera. iNet. Okay, I haven't turned on any, so it's not there now. Now you haven't said that I need to turn on the display of hidden files or system files, so I won't do that. My experience so far is this cumulative update for April takes a while to install. Now, where were we at? Where was I at? Now, I'm guessing Ken is at a high school alumni dinner or is having a conversation with John about that. Oh, what's Carrie got here? Maybe this is an explanation about it. iNet pub folder created by security fix. Don't delete. All right. Oh, all these advertisements. That's why my screen is unusable. So I'm going to come up here to my extensions, manage extensions. If you're going to be that rude and troublesome, then that's when I turn on the ad blocker. Where is it? uBlock origin. What? Is it gone? Oh, did Chrome completely uninstall that automatically? So I don't even have an ad blocker currently. I bet that's what happened. And you all probably know that. Microsoft has now confirmed that in April 2025, Windows Security Update is creating a new empty iNet pub empty and warned users not to delete it. This folder is typically used by Microsoft Internet Information Services, a web server platform that can be enabled via the Windows feature dialog to host website and apps. However, after installing this month's community updates, many users have found a newly created iNet pub folder on their systems, although IIS wasn't installed during the process. How is it that you just would happen to notice this? How do you just happen to notice that? Not interested in movies? I don't know. Bleeping Computer has confirmed this behavior on our Windows 11 and Windows 10. Discovered that cumulative update creates a folder using the system account. Even though deleting the folder did not cause issues using Windows in our test, Microsoft told Bleeping Computer on Thursday that this empty folder had been intentionally created and should not be removed. We did it. Don't delete it. However, according to user reports, the April cumulative updates will fail to install if the iNet pub directory is created before update and deployment. What? However, according to user reports, the April cumulative updates will fail to install if the iNet pub directory is created. So if you manually create that directory, the cumulative update will fail to install. I'm thinking because it wants to create that folder itself with the permissions and ownership that it wants that folder to have. Users warned not to remove the folder. While Redmond still has to explain, really? They have to? You think they have to explain? Still has to, they has to explain. I think what they mean is they haven't explained yet. As yet, has not explained why the security updates are creating this folder in the first place. The company updated the advisory for a Windows process activation elevation of privilege vulnerability, tracked as such and such, overnight to warn users not to delete the new empty iNet pub folder on their hard drives.
Read
Updated
chat, please.
the advisory for a Windows process activation elevation of privilege vulnerability. That folder is associated with a vulnerability. Let's go see what that last read chat, please, is. If it's not there, don't create it. If it is there, don't delete it. It's ours. Ours, we say. It's my ball. I make the rules. Yeah, Jim says, don't hold your breath, that they're going to explain it. Get through all that. After installing the updates listed in the security updates table, why not look over here, Doug, since you did that? For your operating system, a new system drive iNet pub folder will be created on your device. This folder should not be deleted, regardless of whether information service is active on your target device. This behavior is part of changes that increase their, wait a minute, are they explaining it here? This behavior is part of changes that increase protection and does not require any action from IT admins and end users. And this is Microsoft saying, isn't this them explaining, partially explaining? The CVE security flaw is caused by an improper link resolution issue before file access. Link following. In the Windows Update stack, which likely means that on unpatched devices, Windows Update may follow symbolic links in a way that can let local attackers trick the system into accessing or modifying unattended files and folders. So because that's in there, if you delete that folder, that gives hackers, attackers, a way to trick the system into accessing or modifying unintended files or folders. On unpatched devices. So this is saying if you postpone that cumulative update, then because of this security flaw, there is currently a vulnerability that your computer has associated with this issue. And creating that empty folder is somehow Microsoft's way to plug that vulnerability, is what I'm reading or deducing. The company warns that successful exploitation can let local hackers, so local hackers means inside of your local area network. You have somebody inside your local area network connecting to the internet through your router, meaning they are on your local area network. It's local attackers that have low privileges to your computer, unless they know your password or you leave your computer on. With low privileges, escalate permissions and perform and/or manipulate file management operations on the victim machine in the context of NT Authority system account. So it actually lets them become this account and do things that that account would be allowed to do. How to recreate the iNet pub folder. Oh, all right. So if you have already deleted it, here's how to recreate it. For those who deleted the iNet pub folder, you can recreate it by going into Windows, turn Windows features on or off, control panel, installing Internet Information Services. All right, just click on that box. Now, since that is a box, not a check mark, that means you'd have to click that plus sign to expand it. It's one of the child entities that they have currently selected. Once installed, a new iNet pub folder will be created in the root of the C drive with the proper permissions and security rights, because you're letting the system do it. Don't just go create the folder. This time with files in it, since you're actually turning this feature on. If you let Windows Update do it, it's going to be an empty folder. Just by having that empty folder there, it plugs the security vulnerability. That sounds to me like Microsoft has explained why they're doing this. However, it will have the same system ownership as the folder created by the recent Windows Security Update. If you do not use IIS, you can uninstall it again through the same Windows Feature Control Panel and reboot your computer when prompted. If you do that, the folder will still be there, but presumably that will delete files in that folder. I wouldn't bet on it. You're going to think Microsoft's going to clean up files that for a program that has been uninstalled? Doubt that. Maybe. This will remove the software, but leave inet pub folder behind. Microsoft has confirmed that this method will recreate the folder with the same protections. They didn't mention there whether it leaves files in that folder or not, if you care about it. Related articles, are there comments? Yeah, there's comments. No one else suspicious of this. We created a folder on your drive. The folder is empty. The folder name is typically associated with a buggy piece of software. That's not what they said. Well, okay, you're saying IIS is buggy software. Do not delete this empty folder. Something. Well, it's specified in the CVE that you can go read that right up if you're suspicious of this. This is just somebody complaining about it just to complain, I think. Something they are doing or perhaps are doing relies on it. Otherwise, they would not say to not delete it. Wrong. They just explained it. You weren't even reading. You weren't paying attention. You weren't listening to the voice in your head as you're reading it out loud in your mind. Considering that it is normally associated with a web server, there's no doubt in my mind that they are or intend to serve more information from your PC to points. No. The security research in the industry, they're going to be looking at that. It's difficult for Microsoft to get away with something that's published at a CVE. They'll be looking up on it. Ken has not checked up on that. I'm reacting as I read these. I did not have any awareness of this situation until somebody brought it up in chat today. This will needed for some crap pilot. No, this person also is not paying attention. Read the article. Johnny Wood, delete it. It came back post reboot. No harm done. In the end, the world didn't happen. The end of the world didn't happen. You don't know. You don't know that it came back post reboot. Okay, the folder came back. So you're probably still protected from the vulnerability. If you successfully get rid of that folder, which it looks like you can, you are vulnerable to somebody inside your network trying to hack your computer. That's not happening in the home environment, right? Be really rare circumstance. Hey, Doug, what is that rare circumstance? I feel I'm pretty good at picking up rare circumstances.
Read chat, please.
Let's suppose I'll get to that in a moment. Let's suppose you're in a home environment where you have an extremely competent child, perhaps, grown adult child, perhaps, that is a computer whiz, and you have secrets, you have your accounts. Let's say that kid is into drugs and they have stolen from you before, and you've got all your financial accounts and stuff on your computer. You have a strong password on your computer, and you always lock it when you walk away because you don't trust that adult child of yours who is prone to steal from you to fund their addiction. It's an addiction. They're somewhat a victim, and they're really competent in their computer skills. And yeah, you might want to be protecting yourself from that. So there is a rare circumstance. All right, I'll get to that read chat. People do not believe what Microsoft says anymore. Yeah, that doesn't mean that they are lying. We know that they are not completely transparent with us. Agreed with that. That doesn't mean everything they say is a lie. That doesn't mean everything they say has ulterior motive. Microsoft is a huge company with lots of people. There are social groups, there are cliques within the company. I'm sure there are special interest groups. There are some environmental enthusiasts. There are groups of Republicans. There's probably groups of Democrats. There's probably all kinds of different groups of people. Some are total company people and some are not total company people. They cannot get everybody within that company to comply with some kind of harmful behavior. It would have to be a very small grouping or high level where they've got things compartmentalized underneath. It would be very, very difficult to do very much of that kind of evil doing. I'm not saying that they're not, but it's not going to be rampant. I don't buy that. Jim says programmers are generally libertarian. All right. Oh, we're into overtime. Well, nobody has guided my attention to anything previous in chat, so I'm not going to go back and try to read through everything. Maybe not even after the show. I think that's a pretty good package to put to rest. Oh, let me tell you about this video that I about the group policy editor for Windows Home. I want to do a little more preparation and setup for that. I showed you it's a very short video. I spent some time on the thumbnail. My intention is to try to make that really a long-lasting green video. You have seen over and over and over that my highest producing videos, even last month, were videos that I made like 4 years ago that are green content, meaning they keep producing views. These live streams never do that, never will. But I need to be getting some more green content. Now, when you see that published, I might publish it first as a members only video, maybe for 24 hours. If you want to help me, grow this channel, and it has to grow for me to continue with it. I'm not close to giving up on it. I'm not close at all, but it has to grow substantially to make it worth continuing. So if you're willing to help with that, when you see that come out as a members video, the thing that will help is when you first see, don't go seek it. Don't go to my channel and seek it. Wait for YouTube to suggest it to you. Click on it, because YouTube makes its first judgment when it offers my new videos to subscribers. Do they click on it the first time they see it, the second time, the third time? Based upon how well my subscribers respond to those clicks, that gives the algorithm judgment for how much to push it out to non-subscribers. Then when it starts seeing the click response there, if that's encouraging to the algorithm, it does more. So what I'm asking you to do, if you're willing to help me with this, play the game a little bit, is wait till you see it suggested to you as a video, not as a notification. If you get it as a notification, I'd rather you hold off on that. Wait till it shows up as a suggested video for you. But you can do it as notification if you want to. That's okay. But I'm kind of interested in testing this. Then when it goes, then the other thing you do is click the like button. Don't subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you're not subscribed, I prefer you to stay unsubscribed. Because every time you watch one of my videos, you count as a non-subscriber watching my video. That's a good thing for the algorithm. Don't unsubscribe just to be one of those. That's a bad thing. And make a comment. If you make a comment on it, that helps also. John Williams saying, thanks for the live stream, Doug. You are welcome, John. Thank you for the comment. Yeah, the like button and comments. I'm going to start asking you to do those more if you're willing to help me grow the channel. If you don't want to partake in that, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. Out of here. Here's the email address again. If you want to send a question, if you're new to this channel, that's the way it works. You can send a question to that email or put a question as a comment on any of my videos. Myself in the chat room, we will respond to try to help you with whatever issue you're dealing with, even if it takes multiple days. All right, there we go. Get ready to tap your toes. Have a great day, everybody. Catch you later. Goodbye.
That's all, folks.
Tune in 6 days a week for Windows support, the help you seek. Send an email, leave a comment, join the chat. Our tech-savvy crew is where it's at. Not just me, but a whole community, helping you solve tech mysteries. With friends who are here almost every day, we love to chat and help So subscribe now, be part of the team. For Windows support and more than you've dreamed. Join the fun, don't miss a single stream. At LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts or simply where tech support supreme. Where tech support supreme. Tune in 6 days a week for Windows support, the help you seek. Send an email, leave a comment, join the chat. Our tech savvy crew is where it's at. Not just me, but a whole community, helping you solve tech mysteries. With friends who are here almost every day, we love to chat and help you find your way. So subscribe now, be part of the team. For Windows support and more than you've dreamed. Join the fun, don't miss a single stream. At LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts or simply more deeply, VB like tech support.